How we doing, YouTubes? We just had some incredibly spicy cards spoiled for Streets of New Capenna. We have 3 of the demon family, mob boss, lords, whatever, spoiled for Streets of New Capenna. We had Lord Xander, our Grixis one, Rafine, the Esper one, and Jetmir, our Naya colored one. These 3 have been spoiled. These are the 3 that we've seen the charms for as well, which the charms are, they're okay. Nothing to get like overly excited about, but these commander cards, nuts. Absolutely nuts. Some of them you'll see that I like. Some of them I am not a fan of. But let's just jump right into it. Lord Xander the Collector. Xander is here to collect tears, to collect broken tables, ruin friendships. Xander is here to just ruin all of the good things about Magic. What does Lord Xander say? Well, for 4 in Grixis, you get a 6/6, and then there's 3 paragraphs to read. As you can see, all these cards have a lot of text. So Wizards pulling no punches on the text. What does Lord Xander say? When he ETBs, guess what? Target opponent discards half the cards in their hand rounded down. All right, that seems okay. When he attacks, defending player mills half of their library, rounded down. Okay. And when he dies, target opponent sacrifices half of the non-land permanents they control, rounded down. That's obnoxious. What's the first thing people thought of? How can I cheat this thing into play? How can I get it like in and out type of deal? Lord Xander is just going to be a problem. In limited, maybe not so much, because a 7-drop, we'll have to see, is the format slow enough where a 7-drop works? And then if it does, of course, it's going to be a bomb. And I assume with a 3-color set, you're going to have that opportunity. People are thinking about this more for Commander, though, of course, right? Commander is where people's minds go to when it comes to deck building, because no one cares about Standard. Lord Xander will be a problem in Commander. But my hope is he will be a problem for like the first week, and then people realize he's just not fun to play or play against. No one is enjoying this game. Let's just move along. Maybe you could say that about most Grixis decks, though. Grixis is just not a fun color combo to play against. I mean, you just sneak attack it in. Like, the attacking milling is like the least important part of it. The fact is, it comes into play, you've now gotten ahead on cards because they're discarding half their hand, and they're sacrificing half their non-land permanents when it dies. So if you can't exile it, you're in a world of hurt. Like, Lord Xander is just tough. Now, costing 7 mana could be the way that he isn't this horrible thing, right? Because as a commander, you can't sneak attack him in because he's in the command zone. I'm not too sure. There's a lot of potential here for Salt. My hope is it's not quite as obnoxious as people are initially reacting to. Now let's move on to Rafine. Scheming Seer. For only Esper, just for 1 white, blue, and for a single white, a single blue, and a single black, gotta be clear there, you get a Flying Ward 1/1/4. Not all that impressive stat-wise. But whenever you attack, a target attacking creature connives X. Connives is a new mechanic, and it says you draw X cards, discard X cards, and then you get to put X 1/1 counters, or sorry, you get to put 1/1 counters on that creature for each non-land card discarded this way. So if it's just helping you filter out extra lands, no real additional benefit besides not flooding out as much. But if you start discarding non-land spells, well, now you're adding power to that conniving Sphinx demon creature, or any other creature I guess you're attacking with. It'll be interesting to see if we also have some kind of madness type effects, or we can gain additional benefit from discarding non-land cards, or have some type of graveyard recursion, which would not be all that uncommon for Esper to have. But Rafine is one of those more, okay, I see what this card's doing. There's going to be some fun synergy plays, but not like immediately salt-inducing, just enraging type of commander. So Rafine gets an initial thumbs up. And then Jetmir is probably my favorite because I love token decks. I love go wide type strategies. I just love what Naya does in general. And Jetmir, Nexus of Revels, is a 5/4 for 4 mana. It's 1 plus the Naya colors. So kind of one of everything for Jetmir. And he's got, I think, some really interesting text on here. Another 3-paragraph type commander. Paragraph number 1, creatures you control get +1/+0 and have vigilance as long as you control 3 or more creatures. So if you got 3 or more, a starting of a nice wide board. +1/+0 and vigilance, pretty solid, especially in limited. Not an uncommon amount of creatures to get. I think Jetmir is looking like the best of these so far from a limited perspective. A 5/4 is already a problem in just about every limited format we've seen for a while now. And the fact that he can pretty easily pump the board and give it vigilance, very meaningful stat. The next paragraph, creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample as long as you control 6 or more creatures. Now 6, we gotta see how token generation is. We gotta see how easy it is to go wide. If you're just hoping the board gets gummed up and the game gets stalled out, and that's how you get to 6, probably not the most consistent strategy. But so far, he would be a 7/4 with vigilance and trample if you have 6 or more creatures. Not too shabby. If you get to 9, though, everything gets +1/+0 and double strike. And that is just game-winning good. So I kind of like that Jetmir is this win con of wide board win con type commander. That's a fun commander in my mind because you can build it in a really budget way where all you're doing is just playing cards that add value to the board in the sense of like they make your board go wide, and then your commander alone is that win con. You have a high risk, high reward in just one creature, but to me it's a It's a very flavorful way to play Commander. And again, looking at these through the Commander lens, I think Lord Xander's the most potential to be salt-inducing, but also the easiest to interfere with. Because if you counter it, right, if your opponent's playing a game of Commander and Lord Xander is their Commander, and they're trying to collect your tiers, 7 mana is not the easiest to get to. So they're going to have to spend some time ramping or trying to at least distract you all and not be the threat. But everyone knows this card's obnoxious. And if it just gets countered once, that can be really hard to deal with if you exile it, so there's no sacrificing, and the discarding isn't that big because it's only one person getting hit by that. I could see that deck fizzling out. Raffine, flying in Ward 1, most likely won't be hit immediately, and the fact that its value it generates isn't huge, at least at face value, so it's going to be dependent on how you build the deck. That seems like probably the hardest deck to build, though, to get the value out of it. We got to see what this set brings to help benefit the conniving. I don't know if there's a ton of madness outside of red. Thankfully, black brings a good amount, but I don't know if that's the strat with this kind of build. So we'll see on that. And then Jetmir, I think, is just awesome. Go wide. Naya shenanigans. Enjoy ramping and then just building a wide board and smashing in with the nexus of revels that is Jetmir. I'm just surprised that Lord Xander is the only noble. So like Sphinx demons, still looked down upon. Cat demons, not really respected. But vampires, pretty noble. Okay, good to know. It should have been a Minotaur, though. Imagine Minotaur Maestros, right? It just rolls off the tongue so well. It would have been perfect. But that's going to do it, folks. Those are the first 3 demon heads of household mob bosses that we've seen. And I'm kind of glad they're starting us here. So we're not like waiting, oh, what are they going to do? It's like, no, we can see what each tricolor pairing is on about. And now we can start to piece together the limited game plan. We can start to see the speed of the format. I think that'll have a lot to do with how we rank these, at least from a limited perspective as well as a commander perspective. But I'd love to know which of these 3 are you most excited to either build a commander deck around or try in standard, if anyone plays that, or just open up at your pre-release, of course. So far, I think Jetmir's the easiest one to build and the one that will be the strongest, just regardless of how much money you pump into it. I kind of want to try Raffine, though. I just want to see how conniving works. It just feels like the more conniving you do, the better you get at it. I feel like that could be fun. Honestly, these all seem like fun. I'm just not a Grixis player. You know, it's just not my cup of tea. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Would love to hear your thoughts about these again. Check out Card Kingdom if you want to pre-order any of this stuff. It's already up on their website. And thank you to my patrons for being awesome. We'll see you on the next video, my friends. Take it easy. Peace.